Listen closely.
You want to hear? Oh, really? See, my parents never gave me the sex talk.
Okay.
So why don't you give me the sex talk?
I feel uncomfortable right now.
Oh.
Why do you want to know the sex talk from a 15-year-old boy? That's pretty weird. Let's talk about the album.
Okay, what's going on with your new album?
It's a really weird question. And, I'm only just thinking my mom is like
things on blast,
You want to say it again? You have beautiful lips.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, bro.
You got great lips.
Thank you, bro.
Wait, we're pounds. Yeah, serious.
Harry, who apparently wanted to know what a Bieber butt felt like.
The Year Award at the American Music Awards and managed to shock the teenage pop superstar. She presented with Luke Bryan and before Bieber with kisses on the neck and a butt grab. Backstage, McCarthy joked about what Bieber jokingly called violating.
I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape. I did grab his butt. I'm single, but I think that's cougar rape.
So was the butt grab spontaneous?
Well, it better be, because that's just weird if it isn't. Yeah, I gave him a kiss and there was a lot of lipstick, and then my partner Luke decided to wipe it off, and I was like, no, so I did that for a reason. So remember me. So then I couldn't help it. He was just so delicious. So little. Just, I want to tear his head off and eat it.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Everybody knows my past now. My house was always made of
And now people are claiming it is all because of Diddy. A Twitter user posted a video of a listening party featuring a young Justin Bieber dancing with Diddy, and the game was shared by Diana Wallace. Sean Combs presents Bieber with an alcoholic beverage in the video. It has been suggested that the baby singer was not yet 18 years old when this allegedly occurred. He was allegedly sexually harassed, preyed upon, and exploited repeatedly without anyone taking offense, according to several commenters.
Welcome to the family, John.
And it's not just that.
What's up, man? You good?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, young brother, everything's good?
Everything's
Selling
great.
out arenas and everything? Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
Well, I mean, you try to get in contact with me, through all my, partners and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But you never really got my number, so.
Correct. Okay.
My number?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you my number.
Yeah.
It's 55.
Minute.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna be driving this next year.
Yeah, when you get 16, you come down there, you gotta, wear your seatbelt.
I mean, I'm 15. You could ride in the passenger seat. I got my permit. Not yet.
No.
All right, 16.
Not ready.
16.
Let's slow down. Let's slow down, Jess.
Okay.
Let's slow down, okay?
One step at a time.
But yeah, the keys is yours when you get 16. You good to go.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
All right.
And then when you get 18, you get the house. You get the mansion.
Okay. I get the mansion.
Yeah.
All right. So where are we off to now?
Where would you like to go?
I mean, wherever you want to go.
Check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher,
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
I'm going crazy.
Crazy.
I'm taking this out tonight.
What you wanna do? What you wanna do over the next 48 hours?
48 hours. Let's go. Let's just go get some girls. Let's go hang with some girls.
A man after my heart. That's what I'm talking about.
Sadly enough, it seems Justin is not the only artist Diddy groomed in his youth.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle.
Right.
And I saw it. And it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place. And I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans.
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time, you know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 in the morning with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem. I had like,
what
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
Usher's story is also one of the saddest out there because he doesn't seem to want to talk about what really happened.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they described him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have that situation, led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
And what you mean by Diddy count?
Remember? He was on one of the talk shows. The white guy with the curly hair. What's his name? The white guy with the curly hair. And he said, yo, would you send your son to Diddy camp? And Usher said, no. Ask him why he won't send him to Diddy camp. But yet and still you praise him.
Damn, man, and you said that, I know you can't go into detail, but you said that it was a situation where Diddy sent him to the hospital?
Let Usher explain that to you. Let Usher mama explain that to you. And the hospital was in Scarsdale, New York.
Reggie Wright has always called Diddy out for being a predator when it comes to what happened to these two.
I believe that they see these sparse potentials in them, and and a parent would do anything to blow their kids up. Aaliyah mother settled for publishing rights for allowing R. Kelly to do what he did to Aaliyah. Janet Jackson family did it with the guy from can't think of his name right now, but I think it was the group called Shalimar or something like that. Did it with their family. She got her sister raising a kid thinking that she's the mama. Yeah, I'll get too deep for y'all. But those situations has been happening. Or if it does happen to my kid, at least we'll be rich. And that's what happens sometimes with the guys, and you don't know. But there's some good situations out there that has happened as well with kids, in my mind. You know, the Bow Wow situation. Bow Wow was never a victim around Death Row. Snoop or Suge, or none of them ever messed with with Bow Wow while he was a kid growing up trying to be in the business. We haven't heard any situations like that with Brandy, to my knowledge. She was a young kid, but they're even though Brandy mama was always, in her life and all of that. But my point is, people allow them to be around people for that opportunity to blow up. Look at the girl, which is funny. Even though we can't believe a word she says. Your favorite girl, that chick that you think is so fine, that was with Aaron Hall. What's her name? Gloria something?
Oh, Gloria Velez?
Yeah, she calling out your boy Gene. She been calling him out, talking about he lying. But so there's situations like that happened a lot back in the 90s, and even until today in my situation. I mean, in my opinion. But I couldn't do it. I would have to be around my child every day, but people has done it, and it's all behind that dollar bill, y'all. That dollar bill, that green. And some people sell their soul.
A lot of this has been made possible by Diddy's alleged influence behind the scenes and his network of power.
That she saw no way out other than doing what he told her to do. He had mentally controlled her. It's like a pimp. Diddy had pimp potential. He had her mind messed up where it controlled her. She felt no way out. She felt like if she walked out the door, he wasn't gonna do the music no more. If she went somewhere or she ran and didn't want to do that, their relationship not only would have been over, he would have painted a picture that nobody else in the industry would have dealt with her. Like he did Wendy Williams. He said it when he was in Cali. When I come back to New York, And that BITCH is on the radio. This is Wendy Williams, the hottest radio host in New York City. When she put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down and it looked like some gay act that was going on, he got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is gonna do anything with y'all, no business at all. It ain't gonna be no artist, no nothing gonna come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
Wow.
That's the power.
Justin Bieber said that bodyguards would sneak into his room at night and check his pulse to ensure he was still alive. There was a sense of still yearning for more. It was like I had all this success, and it was still like, I'm still sad and I'm still in pain, and I still have these unresolved issues. And I thought all the success was going to make everything good. And so for me, the drugs were a numbing agent to just continue to get through, he told GQ. As Bieber struggled, he had several run-ins with the law and exhibited some unpredictable conduct. The Sorry singer told GQ that certain people in the industry prey on other people's insecurities, which made him angry. This seems very similar to what Diddy is known for doing.
By Cassie. She claims that, she hid out at a friend house in Florida after, Diddy put hands on her. And she said that she was tracked down by a guy named James CRIES, the president of Bad Boy Management. You know anything about that?
James CRIES and Hard Pierre always been Diddy's flunkies, especially Hard Pierre. That's why he's being sued right now too by one of his assistants and stuff like that, because I guess he learned from his boss. But James CRIES used to work for 50, but he worked for Diddy first. So them niggas was always scumbuckets, man.
Speaking of Harvey Pierre, how do you feel about him getting accused of sexual assault?
Like I said, anything that has to do with those sexual assaults, those people have to prove that. But are they capable? Yeah, they're capable. Look at the atmosphere. They in the music industry. They in the music business. They set up those type of, they learn the tricks of the trade. For instance, guys don't put those pills that they get to the girls in the champagne bottles because they popping them in front of them. Most of those girls, especially if they like mixed drinks, you understand, they see the bottles when they open them. And they trying to keep their eyes on because they don't want to get no kind of drugs. But what they don't understand is in the orange juice and it's in the cranberry juice. They done put the pills and the stuff in there, the roofies, the ecstasy, the ease, all whatever they.
And then you're this young, angry person who had these big dreams, and then the world just jades you and makes you into this person that you don't want to be, he said. And then you wake up one day and your relationships are up, and you're unhappy, and you have all this success in the world, but you're just like, well, what is this worth if I'm still feeling empty inside? Bieber admitted that at points along his career, he wished for a sense of normalcy. The musician recounted one incident in which he and a companion hid his passport in the hopes that he could take some time off. The record label is freaking out, saying, you have to do the Today Show next week and you can't find your passport. It takes a certain amount of days to get a new passport, but I was just going to do anything to be able to just be normal at that time, he said. Jaguar Wright has even brought up an intimate encounter that occurred between Justin and Odell Beckham. And I gotta say, It's concerning how common this seems to be in the industry.
Who fucks transgenders that we don't know about? Like, who would they be surprised to hear?
He's a lovely British gentleman. I don't even know if he know.
Oh, okay. I caught those initials. Oh my God.
I don't even know if he know. Because she's good.
I don't think they caught. Wait. Yeah.
He's been seen with her twice, though. Once in London and once in New York.
What?
And she's stunning.
She post-op? She got a fake coochie? You know what? Speaking of that, when Kevin Gates was having sex with this white transgender,
yeah,
he didn't even know because he was eating her out, and then he said, "Hey, are you trans?" And she said, "Yes," and he went back to eating her out. So here's my question. I got a question. There was another transgender on Twitter. I can't remember her name, but she was exposing all those Miami football players.
Listen to me. When I first saw how Trey Songz was moving around, especially in Miami, and it trips me out because I would remember watching him come out of, one of my young boys' cribs, because he would come down there and go to Star Island, and then he would, get the Maserati so he could, flex around Biscayne Bay and Ocean Drive, like all the little mini celebrities do. But then he would go and he would fuck off on my young boy and let my young boy use the Maserati. And so when I think about that, and then I think about that really disturbing footage of Bieber, Odell Beckham, and Trey Songz.
Yes.
And Trey's literally sitting there playing lookout.
Playing lookout as Justin Bieber goes down on Odell.
The boy came up with his mouth wet.
Mouth wet?
What?
Dribbling. Now, what they're going to try to say is, no, Justin Bieber was just doing a line of coke. No, he didn't mess with his nose when he came up.
He was doing a line of coke with his mouth.
He wiped his mouth. When you do
his mouth was wet.
You do this when you finish your line.
His
you wipe your mouth when you sucking dick.
That wasn't post-nasal drip. That was seminal fluid.
It was Odell dick. But Diddy taught him well, right?
The flavor freak off.
Scooter Braun taught him well. Justin Bieber spent 48 hours with Diddy. Talking about we about to get it in. I'm gonna let you drive the car when you 15. That boy ain't been the same since. Got all this anxiety. Face collapsed from all the dick he done sucked.
What Meek Mill said is that expensive pain.
Ooh.
He would know.
How many times Meek Mill done gave that ass up?
A parent, listen to me, if he making songs about being expensive pain in his ass.
Did you see him bunny hopping for those billionaires?
Lord, I don't want to know.
Look, they had him like that.
I told him 4 years ago, almost 4 years ago, I told him that boy was a victim. What'd I say? I said it right here with you. Motherfucking Charlie Mack took him to Will Smith's house. He left that house fucking screaming. Then he ran over there to the fake Rick Ross. Fucking Rose fucking say? Pink flowers. Sir, you want to be known as Pink Flowers. Somebody ought to pluck your petals. Now, he get down there to Miami, afraid to talk to niggas in Philly. Talking about everybody is sodomite. I'm like, that's not possible. Philadelphia is Muslim. It's Islam. Ain't no whole lot of that. You know that. Then I find out he's spending all this time on Diddy boat with Khaled.
Oh!
And what I will say is this. Once I found out he was over there with Khaled, I already knew. Because see, Khaled, he got a strong neck. You ever seen the way he eat a chicken wing?
Jack, he eat a lot, to be fair.
Next time that nigga eat on camera, I want you to look at the fingers and everything. He don't leave nothing.
He could just be a fat nigga.
With a strong neck. So I knew Meek was power bottoming. I knew Meek was power bottoming.
Wow.
Well, he already done got the broke in. I just didn't know that that's why he was faking it with Nicki, so that he would have an excuse to be up underneath the diddler.
Because they started dressing like Jag. You see that photo where they are?
Yeah, just like how him and Mace used to.
Oh.
What you know about?
Okay, to be fair, now wait. Now Mace said it was a big ass dildo in the bathroom, but Mace said it wasn't his.
He was present with a large dildo.
Well, he lived with Diddy at the time. He said he was living with Diddy at the time.
He was living with Diddy with a large dildo, and Shaggy is the best he can do. Nigga, you was dressed up in the matching clothes too. The Diddy do I bop. Rodney done already said. Why ain't you got no stories about all that pressure if ain't nothing happened? You know, I feel the same way about Gil. You know, Gilly, they talking about Gil gatekeeping. He got Wallow running around off the chain, running around telling motherfuckers that they talk to Jag while their careers is over and shit. And I'm trying to figure out how the fuck you think you was the only underage motherfucker working down there under the age 21 ain't get fucked over by Birdman, because Birdman touched on everybody.
Everybody.
According to records obtained by XXL, Sean Diddy Combs' attorneys filed a motion in New York court on Friday, April 26th, requesting that the judge dismiss certain of the accusations against the Bad Boy Entertainment founder in Joy Dickerson-Neal's sexual assault complaint. According to the records, Diddy's attorneys claimed that Dickerson-Neal's claims of revenge pornography and human trafficking should be rejected with prejudice, since those criminal statutes were not enacted or in effect at the time of the alleged sexual assault in 1991. Diddy's counsel pointed out that Dickerson-Neal's claim of human trafficking under the New York Services for Victims of Human Trafficking law is inapplicable to her action against Diddy because the law went into force in 2007, 16 years after the alleged sexual assault occurred. The music mogul's lawyers also argue that Dickerson-Neal's claim of revenge porn against Diddy under the New York City revenge porn law is ineffective because the law went into force in December 2017, 26 years after the claimed incident. Diddy's lawyers argue that Dickerson-Neal cannot sue Bad Boy Entertainment or Combs Entertainment, which are named as defendants in her lawsuit, because the two firms did not exist at the time of the alleged sexual assault. As a statute cannot apply to conduct occurring before it existed, a plaintiff cannot sue an entity for conduct that allegedly took place before it existed, the motion states. Joy Dickerson Neal filed a lawsuit against Diddy and his companies in November 2023, alleging that the music producer sexually raped her and secretly recorded the incident when she was a 19-year-old college student in 1991. Dickerson Neal alleged in her 22-page civil action that she met Diddy for dinner on January 3, 1991, at a restaurant in Harlem, New York. She said that during their supper, he intentionally drugged her, rendering her unconscious. Dickerson Neal claimed Diddy then drove her to where he was staying and sexually attacked her. Dickerson Neal further claimed that Diddy recorded the alleged sexual assault without her knowledge and then shared the video with numerous music business associates. Diddy has already angrily refuted the charges, accusing Joy Dickerson Neal of using New York law to implicate non-existent entities for monetary benefit. But technicalities will not save him from the rest of the lawsuits and the floodgate that Cassie's allegations opened.
So, looking at this lawsuit, she alleges that, Diddy, he'll make her look online for BBCs for their freak-off sessions. And she say that, in this lawsuit that, Diddy, he enjoyed watching her get smashed by BBCs. So, what you think about that?
Do you think she was the only one getting banged by him? Do you think this man had this woman search for prostitutes online just for them to have sex with her? It's something fishy about that, bro. Because you got to realize this lawsuit and the information they had and they gave the Diddy people was 6 months ago. So some of that stuff was cut out. Okay, we're gonna give you this, but you gotta cut this part out. Let's just say, allegedly, or just for the sake of it, Cassie wasn't the only one who wanted, or she didn't want it, but Cassie, who searched for the big black, and she was searching for the big black, not only for herself, but for somebody else who we all know that was in the room with her.
So you feel like Diddy was having sex with the male prostitutes?
They had to be for both of them. They was in the room, right?
You're right.
It's a freak-off section, right? She said it's a freak-off section. If she says a freak-off section, brother, she ain't the only one freaking off. The prostitute ain't the only one freaking off. Old boy is freaking off also.
Right. So you think he was letting these guys use their BBCs on him?
I think that, and me just being a trained investigator and reading through the lines of certain things, and one time I had read something that Cassie couldn't take it no more. She told her friend, and this was she was under a non-disclosure and everything like that. She told her friend she couldn't take it no more because she had seen this dude do something. I've heard Cassie may have seen some stuff that she ain't really want to look at. But it was freak off day.
Right. And when I look at this lawsuit, man, Cassie, she also alleges that, while she was having sex with these male prostitutes, the male prostitutes, and Diddy, they all wore masquerade masks.
He didn't want her to know who they were. So if she ever wanted to do what she just did, how does she say how the person look? All she could describe is if they was wearing masks, unless she saw them before they put the mask on. It's craziness, man. And you know what's so crazy is, bruh, that all these stories has been around the industry for a long time. all these industry people know that Diddy been acting like this and doing this and try to engage other men into sexual acts. There was story that he was trying to get Chris Brown. There's stories about, you know, those young boys that he had, a group B5 or something like that, trying to get them. Yo, it's a lot of stories that goes around in this industry about not just him, other people. Jimmy Iovine. Ain't nobody talking about Jimmy Iovine. He got sexual charges and everything on him, but he got those publicists that's keeping it out off of CNN, is keeping it off the major news reports. Nobody's talking about that. This is something that goes on, man, that they're gonna push up under the rug, and a few years later, Bad Boy 5, 6, 7, 8 will be out.
Gene Deal has gone on record to state how he's willing to testify to the feds about everything that Diddy did.
You think it's possible that Cassie will help the feds bring Diddy down? Because I know her lawyer came out making a comment saying that, you know, they don't got no problem helping the feds.
She gonna have to. Because she made statements. So then they will subpoena her. If you don't go to court after you being subpoenaed, they can lock you up for the life of the trial. Or she could become a non-compliant witness, whereas that a hostile witness, where she say, I revoke my constitutional right and don't say nothing. I invoke my constitutional right, you know what I'm saying, and don't say nothing. She could do that. But she has to answer the subpoena. And I don't think she's gonna sit down and go to court or go to jail for Diddy. You understand? If she is subpoenaed to come in there and speak on what happened to her, I believe she would do it. So Cassie, yeah. Even if they call me about the abuse with Kim, they say, yo, Gene, did you see him beat Kim? I said, on that particular case, no. Have I seen him rough Kim up and use the pillow? You know, he liked to play fight and be hurting the girls while he play fight. Have I seen him do that? Yeah, I've seen him done that. Because I was like a big uncle one time. So now, when he gets to the hospital, his right wrist is ripped open. So, Mr. Dill, when you got to the hospital, what happened? Well, I seen his wrist ripped up. I would testify that I seen his wrist wrapped up in a t-shirt, and he said it right there in front of Kim, you know what I'm saying, that, yo, you could have killed him because she hit an artery. You understand? And I would tell how I saw how Kim looked, and I would testify to everything if I was told to. You know, if I was brought in to testify against that. You understand? I'm not gonna sit there and wait in jail for him. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
So you don't have no problem testifying?
I have no problem sitting in the court of law, doing my due diligence and testifying on stuff that I already spoke of on the internet. When I talked about him abusing Kim and she had to cut his wrist to get him off of him, I would tell what I saw when I went to the hospital. I have no problem. I don't care what nobody say, I don't care what nobody think. If I've already said it on the internet, if I've already said it on different platforms and programs, why wouldn't I? I have no problem was saying the relationship with him and Keefe D. Problem in saying that he went to Suge Knight and asked Suge Knight, are we good out here? When Pac was right behind Suge, Suge had a red Bentley, Rolls Royce Bentley, Pac had the white one. In the back of the house in blue. I have no problem in saying that I told him if we go out this house, somebody gonna die tonight. And the Notorious Big came up dead. I have no problem in saying what I've been saying for years, since '97. If I'm brought into a court of law to testify on things that they want to ask me regarding his character or anything that I've displayed out here.
And he is not the only person who's been on Diddy's case. We can say the same about Jaguar Wright for the last few years.
So what are your thoughts on the show of force, even not knowing?
They did their job. He's a sex worker. He's got guns and he's got semen-coated VHS tapes.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just ain't real thing.
Real life street stars. Know what time it is.
And it's been a crazy year. But the reason why even right now, your old interview that you did last year is trending even crazier because you're almost like, not Nostradamus, but Nostradamus. What you have said, not only in our interview, but on your own personal lives.
Yeah. Which gets shadow banned constantly.
Yeah, things start coming to fruition to where you targeted certain people in that interview, and now you're seeing, I don't want to even say downfall, but you're seeing that target that you put on people's backs.
I'm seeing integrity.
Wow.
Show up.
Wow.
You know, the day of the raid, I got a lot of notifications. I got a lot of ads. I got a lot of mentions. I got a lot of phone calls.
When you said the day of the raid, you're talking about the raid on both Miami and California.
And New York simultaneously.
Wait, New York was?
Yeah, the New York house was raided as well.
Oh, wow. That didn't even, they didn't even really.
3 states working in tandem. And they did not tell the officers who they were raiding. They went in tactical as they were instructed to. They didn't know they was raiding Diddy's house. Diddy being a Fed informant, that he had people in the force and they wanted to make sure that went through legit. So they ain't tell nobody whose houses they was going to.
That's why you see the guns.
The cops didn't know that it was Diddy's house over there in Beverly Hills around the corner from the Playboy Mansion. They didn't know until they seen the kids.
So what are your thoughts on the show of force, even not knowing?
They did their job. He's a sex worker. He's got guns and he's got semen-coated VHS tapes. I would have went in a hazmat suit.
So let me ask you this. When you first told us about your thoughts and you honeycombs is what you.
Yeah, the honeycomb. Shout out to Jamil Peterson. He's added a new one. He call him the Diddy Glover now. Cause when he ain't got the Beijing and he say he look like Danny Glover.
Oh man.
So he's AKA Diddy Glover now. Shout out to Jamil Peterson, I Am Comedy.
So I want to stay right here. We're gonna stay within this pocket, but I'm just curious. What did you know that was going on in the world of Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, that the world didn't know? What did you know back then, 3-4 years ago?
Was gonna come forward.
So how'd you know? What'd you know about what Cat? Because
I wish I could explain.
Yeah,
but if I explain how I knew Cassie was gonna come forward, that could hurt some people. Which is why
The last time I sat on this blue couch, I said what I said. Congratulations, young Miami. Run as fast as Cassie did.
Did you see something being around Cassie? Did you see anything being around?
I don't spend time around Cassie, and I haven't seen Cassie in person since she was with Ryan Leslie.
Was there something in her eyes that you saw? The way, like now
I'm gonna
that
put it to you this way: there are mutual acquaintances between her and I, and that's as far as I can go.
Okay. When you,
I don't talk to her, but I speak to her.
Did you get a chance to see her indictment? What she claimed happened?
Oh no, I reviewed all the files, and everything that she said is everything that I said with Storm Monroe 3.5 years ago. Exactly what I said it was.
Were you surprised about anything that came in?
No.
Wow. So
nobody else should have been either. Young jock. You Diddy doo-wop bop. You. Because you told the truth, Jock, and then after Diddy called you, you went back and tried to clean it up. But your all about is off the steep.
Have you ever been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, several, many, honestly.
And so, can you take us through like what goes on, like when you were there?
What did I say when y'all asked me about why was the TD Jakes at the Diddy party?
Yeah.
What'd I say? Money and sex.
That's correct. Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No.
That he was recording these?
Of course, he is the J. Edgar Hoover of hip hop.
Okay.
Y'all done seen him put on the pyramid with a skirt?
Now, do you think we will see these cult heroes of the black community take up the mantle and bring Diddy down in court? Let me know in the comments below.